Hey guys, Tiong here. I have a ripper of a recipe for you today. We're going to do a pan-fried Australian pork loin steak with some lentils and a mustard dressing. It's going to be so simple, so delicious. Here I've got my beautiful Australian pork loin steaks, and they're just about over 2 centimeters thick. They look gorgeously pink, and it's just a brilliant product. All right, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is season one of these beautiful pork loin steaks. I'm just going to take a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Flip it over and season again. Now in a pan on medium heat, I'm going to add some oil. Wait for that oil to get hot before we start cooking this steak. Because these steaks are about just over 2 centimeters thick, we're going to use the 6-2-2 rule. So we're going to cook it on one side for 6 minutes. Then we're going to flip it over, cook it for a further 2, and then we're going to rest it for another 2. And because of the thickness of these steaks, we're going to get a beautiful pink blush throughout the steak. When you've got Australian pork of this high quality, medium rare is exactly what you want. That beautiful blush of pink is perfect. Our oil has warmed up, so now let's get the steak right in. And all we're going to do is just lay it down in the center of the pan. Press it down so it's in even contact with the pan, and we'll leave it for 6 minutes. So in the meantime, let's put on a small pan on about medium heat as well. And we're going to slice 1 shallot. Great. I'm going to chop 1 clove of garlic. Just like that. All right, so in the small pan, I'm going to add some oil. Right down. I'm going to add the shallots and garlic now. Wait for those to cook down slightly. All right, so what I've got here is about half a cup of pre-cooked lentils. Now you could use tin lentils or dried lentils and just cook it as per packet instructions. So all I'm going to do is now add this to the shallots and garlic in the small pan. Oh yeah. Give that a good stir. Okay, to the lentils, I'm going to add a splash of white wine vinegar, a splash of sherry vinegar, and 2 bay leaves. And this is just going to perfume those lentils beautifully. Give that a nice mix. Now we're just going to wait for those vinegars to evaporate a little bit, and that'll take a couple minutes. All right, the pork's been cooking for about 6 minutes. It's time to flip it. Let's flip it. And we've got a nice golden crust on that. It's beautiful. Let's cook it for a further 2 on this side. Now those vinegars have evaporated from our lentils, which is fantastic. So all I'm going to do now is season with a little bit of salt and a little bit of cracked black pepper. Give it a stir and turn off the heat. In the meantime, I've got some celery leaf here. And it's a great way to use up all of your celery bunches. It's, you know, the most fragrant part is the celery leaf, and it's delicious in salads, in dressings, anything. So I'm just going to take a bunch of it, a small bunch, and run my knife just quickly through it. Just roughly chop. So easy. The celery leaf goes fantastically with Australian pork. It's just wonderful flavor. All right, I'm so excited about this already. All right, so while that pan is still actually quite warm, I'm going to add the celery leaf to the lentils. Straight in. Great, the steak's had about 2 minutes on that side. It's time to take it out of the pan and let's rest it for a further 2. While our steak is resting, let's get onto that mustard dressing. So in this little bowl, I've got a dash, maybe about a tablespoon of white wine vinegar, And all I'm gonna do is add half a teaspoon of hot English mustard. Adds a nice spice to it. And I've got about 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Now you can use whatever mustards you like. You could use a seeded mustard, that's beautiful as well. I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt. A little bit more. A little pinch of black pepper. I'm gonna drizzle in some extra virgin olive oil. A nice drizzle there. Just mix this up until everything is fully incorporated. You could use a sherry vinegar, you could use a red wine vinegar, whatever flavor you like is up to you. That's looking great. That is looking wonderful. Oh, that's gonna go perfectly with that pork. Oh, that nice acid and kind of mustardy flavor. That works so beautifully with Australian pork. All right, so let's leave that to the side. I'm just gonna add a nice generous pile, slightly off center, of these beautiful lentils. Oh, that looks so good. I'm not gonna be serving those bay leaves. They've done their job, so let's just discard those. That celery leaf is so fragrant. Oh, yum. All right, our steak's been resting for about 2 minutes. It's now time to cut into it. What we have, yes, is a perfectly pink, just blushing, medium rare Australian pork loin steak. And it is delicious. Oh, look at that. That is beautifully pink there. When you've got pork of this quality, this is exactly how you want it. It is, oh, this is a dream. All right, let's place this on our serving plate now. Just kind of spread it out, fan the pork out a little bit. All right, now I'll give you a little tip. Don't waste those resting juices. That is flavor, that is deliciousness. I'm just gonna pour it right over the steak. Oh, God, that is really wonderful. Now for the mustard dressing. Oh, this is one of the best parts here. Just gonna get a nice spoonful and just, as if I were drawing a circle, just go straight around. Look at that. Bit more down the steak. Some on top of those lentils. They'll soak into it. And that, let's finish with a drizzle of olive oil. And that, guys, is a beautiful, simple, delicious, so achievable Australian pork loin steak with lentils and a little mustard dressing. Oh, this is awesome.